Welcome back everyone. Time to do another comparison this time around between the newly released iPhone 12 mini and the somewhat older iPhone 8. Now, what I can tell you is there's definitely some pros and cons of both these phones. If you have all the money in the world, get the iPhone 12 mini. This phone is $729 to pick up in the brand new market. But the iPhone 8 that came out in 2017 has gone down in value a little bit. This phone doesn't cost what it used to. You can probably pick it up for like less than $300 in a ton of places. So take it that what you will. I will find the cheapest ones of both these, link them down in the description below. You can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now, side by side, actually, you can kind of see that the iPhone 12 mini is just a tad bit smaller than the iPhone 8. And what's really funny is that Apple actually mentioned the iPhone 8 when they were talking about the iPhone 12 mini during their keynote. They said the iPhone 12 mini was smaller than the iPhone 8, not the SE2, which is weird, it's the same size. But you can see the iPhone 12 mini is in fact smaller. I think it feels thinner, it feels thicker than the hand though. The 12 mini feels thicker though, which is weird, but regardless, it's still okay. And the iPhone 8 on the front has that 4.7-inch panel on it. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, and I just compared the SE2 to the 12 Pro Max right now too. And dude, this is a really good sized phone. This does not feel like a super outdated phone or an ugly phone or anything like that, not even close. It is super capable. You can see that the viewing angles are great. The only problem is the thing that dates it the most is definitely the top bezel and the bottom bezel. It's definitely not the best looking device you can see, but it's still pretty current, and I don't think anybody will look at this and think it's an ugly phone. It just kind of looks like an older phone at that. The iPhone 12 mini has that 5.4-inch Super Retina XDR OLED panel, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is a beautiful panel. It's a really good, screen phone. It has very little bezel around it, has a notch up top, and it has that newer flat side, which I really, really do like. And when you feel it in the hand, it definitely feels really good. It doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel ugly. It just looks very, very nice. And it's roughly around the same size too when I feel both in the hand. One doesn't really feel bigger. The iPhone 12 mini does feel thicker though, which is very weird. And I'm not too sure if it is. The iPhone 8, I think, was like one of the thinnest iPhones they ever made, and it still is completely thin compared to the new iPhones. And I do think it actually is thinner than the iPhone 12 mini. And on the back, you can see dual camera setup on the iPhone 12 mini, single camera setup on the iPhone 8, and glass backs on both, pretty much the same type of build. We just have the flat sides on the iPhone 12 mini, which, like I said before, is something I really, really do like. So definitely when it comes down to the build quality aspect, the iPhone 12 mini is a really, really good built phone. It feels better than the iPhone 8, but the iPhone 8 still feels really good. You have the curved design on it, and like I said before, there's just not that much to hate on either one of these phones in terms of the build quality. You are getting IP certification on both phones. Both phones are wireless charging. The 12 mini does have that MagSafe capability, which is cool. But other than that, they're kind of the same thing in terms of the feeling, but the 12 mini does look and perform overall better than the iPhone 8. And in terms of software, this is another pretty big thing. The iPhone 12 mini is going to be lasting at least maybe even more than 3 years than the iPhone 8. There's a possibility the iPhone 8 could get an extra year of software support, but even then, the iPhone 12 mini is still going to be lasting a couple more years than the iPhone 8. So that's a pretty big difference in my opinion for the average person. So if you're trying to get a phone that's going to last you for a long amount of time, the iPhone 12 mini is probably the best way to go, but the iPhone 8 is still going to be lasting for a couple more years too. So in terms of software, that pretty much covers it up. Now let's go into speed comparison between both phones. The iPhone 12 mini has that Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 8 has that Apple A11 Bionic chip inside of it with 2 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go and see which one is the faster phone between both of these. Okay, now that we're back, let me go and clear the apps in the background. And of course, with the 12 mini, I did not do that. So let me go ahead and quickly do that. And okay, we're good. Let's do phone calls, 3, 2, 1. And roughly about the same, not a big difference. App Store 3, 2, 1. And definitely the iPhone 12 mini was faster, the iPhone 8 a little bit behind. And one thing that I always notice is pretty much the closing speed. I mean, look how much faster it is. So 3, 2, 1. It's the iPhone 12 mini, just instantaneous. The iPhone 8 does have a little bit of a delay because of that home button. Let's open up these third-party apps. Fruit Ninja 3, 2, 1. The 12 mini does seem to be a little bit faster, even with that initial load screen, which, like I said before, is pretty important. That's a pretty big deal in my opinion. That's a very basic app too. Twitter, 3, 2, 1. 12 mini is faster. iPhone 8 a little bit behind. Facebook, 3, 2, 1. The 12 mini was actually faster there too. Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. It's always so hard to level these things together too, which is so annoying. And you can see the 12 mini is pretty much noticeably ahead of the iPhone 8 for sure. And I think eventually we'll get into the iPhone. I don't know actually if there's a network issue again or something, because it's taking forever on that phone. And typically it wouldn't take it this long. So I'll probably say it's more so a network issue, which is very strange. Let's do BOFA, 3, 2, 1. 12 mini is faster. iPhone 8, a little bit behind as you guys can tell. Eventually we do get into it on that phone. Let's do Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. 12 mini is faster. iPhone 8, eventually we get into it right there. Dropbox, 3, 2, 1. 12 mini is faster. iPhone 8 a little bit behind. Let's do Netflix, 3, 2, 1. And the 12 mini gets into it. iPhone 8 a little bit behind right there too. Snake versus Blocks, 3, 2, 1. And the 12 mini is faster. iPhone 8 a little bit behind right there. Getting into some gameplay, let's see if there's a difference. And I don't think there's going to be, but you can see that I pretty much covered up that one for sure. Thank you. 3, 2, 1. And the 12 mini was faster. iPhone 8 a little bit behind as you guys can tell, but again, not a big difference. Gameplay is probably going to be roughly around the same. Stack, 3, 2, 1. And you can see to even get into the ad was faster on the iPhone 12 mini. Let's do Paper IO 2. 3, 2, 1. I had to pause there because I honestly didn't even know if I had it. And I've been pretty much saying the iPhone 8 is doing a good job at keeping up for the most part. The 12 mini was faster, but a 3-year-old phone like the iPhone 8 was slowly behind. It doesn't feel like there's been 3 years of improvements, but I can tell the iPhone 12 mini is the faster one. That's kind of the best way I can probably describe it, to be honest. Let's do the next one, which is Really Racing 3. 3, 2, 1. And honestly, I think the iPhone 12 mini obviously is the faster phone. Even here, there may be an issue where the iPhone 8, as you can see, with there's it just has to download it. So I'll probably end up saying the 12 mini would have been the faster one here too, all things considered. But the iPhone 8, I think, did a really decent job on some of these smaller apps. When you get to these bigger ones, that's when you start to see more problems, more issues around the board. And here we're going to get into a downloading thing or whatever. And even then, I would give the edge to the iPhone 12 mini for 100% of a fact. I feel like that's probably one of the bigger differences when it comes down to it, is probably the speed difference. RAM management should theoretically be better on the iPhone 12 mini because it has twice the amount of RAM. But I've been seeing a humongous issue that I keep mentioning in videos that I don't even see that many people talking about, that the RAM management is just so much worse on the iPhone 12 mini. This phone is on iOS 14.2.1, the latest update that Apple just pushed out yesterday, and we're still having these RAM management issues, and now we're actually getting into it again. And I just don't get it. This is a really big issue. It should not be happening like this, and I literally just updated to 14.2.1 yesterday, and I'm still getting the same issues. So I guess I have to make another video talking about it as if the last one nobody watched it. I have to go and redo that video again for people to watch it. RAM management is better on the iPhone 8. I'm very saddened by it, but the 12 mini is faster. So that pretty much covers up the speed comparison that's on the cameras. And I feel like the RAM management thing really threw me off, to be honest, but the 12 mini has a dual camera setup, 12 megapixel wide and 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor, where the iPhone 8 has that 12 megapixel wide angle lens, a single camera setup. And I think I've been saying this for a while, the iPhone 8 has a pretty decent single camera setup. Is it perfect? No, but you do have the capability of shooting 4K videos on the back of this camera at 60 frames, I think, which is really, really nice. But like I said before, and I've been saying this, these older iPhones, the biggest downside of it is that front-facing camera. You can only do 1080p on it. Is it a deal breaker? Not at all. I think it actually does a pretty decent job, but for everyday person, they may prefer something a little bit higher than 1080p at some point. Right now, I think 1080p is okay, but you still have 4K at 60. You don't have portrait mode, which is another big deal, and you only have a single camera setup on the back, which may be a big deal to a lot of people. And the 12 mini is able to fix a lot of those issues. You have that ultra wide sensor, which I think that in and of itself is a really cool thing. You have a better camera lens on the back, even just between this and this. I already saw some bigger differences. I think I already did a full camera comparison between these two, but I haven't uploaded it yet. But still, 4K at 60 on the front camera as well, which is huge. The overall UI, you're getting portrait mode, night mode, different things like that, and you're getting a way better camera on this 12 mini. That's a no-brainer. So going from the iPhone 8 to the 12 mini is going to be a pretty good jump. But how often do you use the camera, and if it's worth it just to upgrade from the camera? I will tell you it's a worthwhile upgrade, but also going from an iPhone 8 to an iPhone 11 is a pretty good upgrade too, when you don't have to spend the money for a 12 mini. But it is what it is. You're definitely getting a better camera for sure. Now, when you get off with the battery life, I will probably tell you the iPhone 8 is going to have a worse battery life than the iPhone 12 mini, but I will do a full battery comparison at some point and let you guys know. But my assumption is the 12 mini is going to have better battery life than the iPhone 8. So to kind of sum up this video and to answer the question, should you pick up the iPhone 8? Should you pick up the iPhone 12 mini? Well, this is a no-brainer. Obviously, pick up the iPhone 12 mini. It is the better phone, and just $729, it's a lot of money, but it's a way better phone than the iPhone 8. But I will tell you, if you currently have an iPhone 8, there's still a lot of quality and a lot of, just stuff you're getting from this specific phone. It's a very capable phone for the most part. It's not a slow phone, it's not an ugly phone, it's not a bad phone, it's just an older phone, and it definitely has an older type of design. But you may not even feel like this phone is that bad or anything, and it's not. If you pick this phone up and you use it, the first thing you're gonna think of is, wow, this phone actually still feels pretty good in the hand, and it feels pretty much the same, if not even a little bit better than the iPhone 12 mini, to be honest, because the thickness of this phone, the iPhone 8 feels a little bit thinner, and it feels a little bit better because of the chassis of the iPhone 8 just feels more premium in my opinion than the iPhone 12 mini. But on top of that, the performance isn't that much slower, and the RAM management, this phone has half the amount of RAM than the iPhone 12 mini, and this phone gives you better RAM than the iPhone 12 mini. Makes absolutely no sense. I don't know what Apple is thinking here, but you're getting better RAM management for right now than the iPhone 12 mini. You're getting faster phone, faster just everything in general. The iPhone 12 mini, though, is the better phone. You're getting a much better quality display. You're getting longer software support. You're getting a faster phone. Technically, even the RAM management is better than the iPhone 8. You're getting a more capable phone. You're going to have that gesture-based design. It looks better. It looks newer. You're getting a way better camera setup. I feel like that may be one of the biggest differences beyond just the way it looks and the performance and stuff. That camera setup is one of the bigger differences in my opinion, and you're definitely going to be getting a way more capable phone from the iPhone 12 mini than the iPhone 8 in my opinion. So in terms of everything, that really pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any questions or you want to pick one of these things up, links will be down in the description below. Hit the like button, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.